time has come, we've had some fun.
It's time for the Ship's Gonna Happen podcast. Here with a load of laughs, info, and fun, it's Tony B, Dave B, and Timmy D.
Before I go alone. Don't ask me this and one more song. It ain't too costly, no, I ain't too cheap, so just relax. I'm on my knees.
Welcome to the Ship's Gonna Happen podcast, episode number 122. My name is Tony B. Alongside me, as usual, is my sidekick, my partner in crime, David B. Timmy D is out today, probably hunting for some deer or something. Is it still probably hunting season, right?
I would imagine it is, but he's got dad duties this
Yeah,
week.
he's got that baby too.
Yeah.
All right, we'll have some trucking topics, and we will also have the Reckless Club visits the music of 1981. The views of Ship's Gonna Happen are purely news-driven and do not express the views of any transportation provider or any business entity that uses a transportation provider. We do it for the
Transportainment.
Kaboom, the transportainment. You can catch us on YouTube, Rumble, Spotify, Google Podcast, Amazon, iHeart, Radio, Stitcher, and all the search engine. Just put us in a search engine and you will find us. Ship Gonna Happen weekend, David. It's cooling out. It's rainy, misty. It's getting close to Christmas. Good morning to you.
My kind of day, producer Tony. I love these kind of days. It's cloudy. It's overcast. It is a nice, this is December the 9th, and it is 60 degrees outside.
I know.
Shorts weather,
What's
at
happening,
least
man?
another day.
Is Indiana the new Florida?
Well,
We're the new
weather-wise,
Georgia?
maybe, I hope.
The new northern Georgia?
I mean,
in
as
winter?
far as like the demographics of Florida, I hope the hell not. but
Oh, hey.
I don't hope that's a different.
I'll
That's
take
a
some-
different podcast.
I'll
guess.
take some beachfront property in the neighborhood.
There
That'd
we
be
go.
good.
Yes, it's something on the east side of Indy, but it is. I love these kind of days. I think the bottom's supposed to drop out tomorrow, but
Right.
for December the 9th, this is a really nice day. And your yard again looks like it's
Thanks,
like
brother.
the 19th green, and it's like May outside and not the late fall days or whatever.
What did they say in Indiana real quick about the weather? Just hang around, it'll change.
But isn't that, to me, that
Is it
adage
everywhere?
has always been,
Every state's probably
Yeah,
got
they
it.
probably got the whatever. But anyway, this show, along with all of our other shows, brought to you by The Great Divide, 743 East New York Street, downtown Indianapolis. Great place to go after Ship's Gonna Happen week. Great place to go to get a great meal, hear some good music, chat it up with the locals. I was in there last night, hung out with bartender Sean way too late, and got to listen to David Meek play the piano and hang out with some locals, and it was just an awesome time. Jen and her crew always do a great job to take care of you at the Great Divide.
Yep.
Stop by and tell them that the Ship's Gonna Happen podcast sent you. Producer Tony, you doing okay today? It's good to see you. We got the holidays coming up. You got your shopping done, or are you still working on something?
No, it's not done.
It's not the 24th. What do you mean it's not done?
Yeah, you gotta wait a little bit. We do most of ours like on Amazon, a lot of it.
Right,
So it's not, it's changed
that's really
a little bit.
personal.
Yeah, I know. Hey, boom.
I've
Hey,
just-
here's your delivery.
Right, yeah.
It's your present.
And this is for
You
you.
can get wrapping
Get the
and
door.
stuff. Yeah. Hey, that's your Christmas present.
Get the door.
Yeah. Hey, you should get the door. It's your present.
Yeah. I ain't doing it. I
But
bought it.
yeah, my responsibility ends at that door.
Right.
It's yours now.
And it's a kid. It's me. It's my own opinion. Christmas is a kid's holiday. It's all about kids stuff. It's not.
Yeah.
Like, I hate it. I'd rather not have a gift bought for me. I'd rather, buy gifts or.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Do you know who wrote most of those Christmas songs? Believe it or not, a lot of those Christmas songs were written by like Macy's, J.C. Penney, Montgomery. Back in the day, the big famous parade, Macy's parade. I think Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. I think that was written by a marketing executive. They had to, during Christmas season, they had to lure the people into the stores back then, right?
The shop. Yeah.
So they would have their own songs they'd play and stuff. So, yeah, interesting. But yeah, it's Christmas time. I'm doing good, brother. I'm doing good.
Yeah, this is always was a kind of you're winding the year down, trying to use up all your vacation time.
Yeah, you got any?
Oh, I got a poop ton.
You gonna use any?
No.
You gonna roll it over? Do you roll it over?
No.
You lose it?
Lose it.
David,
I
you
lose
gotta
it
freaking use
But
it,
it doesn't-
man.
I know.
So what, would you get like 3 months off if you used it?
No, I only have 4 weeks. Which, no, I shouldn't say only 4 weeks. I can't get them used. It's
Do they
just the
buy
way
them
it
back?
is. It's so no.
Wow.
No. I wish.
Is Tracy
You would
yelling
think
at you?
that.
Gotta use your days.
No, she doesn't give a crap. Here's what I hear. If I ever take it, if I ever take a day off, and I'm like still there when they wake up, because most days I go into work at midnight, and they don't get up. Tracy didn't get up, go to work until like 5 or 5:30. I have to. This is what I hear. Why are you here? I'm like, well,
They expect you gone.
Where else am I? Can I take a day off?
Yeah. Don't you have somewhere to go?
Why are you here? And that was like last night. I didn't go to the Great Divide last night until late. And normally by the time Tracy and Hannah get home, I'm already gone. And so when I got home last, they're like, why are you here? And I said, well, maybe I'm going to be here the entire time. They're like, no, you need to go. Just go. And I'm like, no, I'm not going. I'm staying, even though I already knew I was going to leave.
Your daddy, and that's your house.
Right. Yeah.
Jeez, I'm your daddy.
That's right.
You know?
That's right.
What are you doing here?
That's right. Yes.
Don't you have a podcast or something to go to? You're here Saturday morning?
I have to hear that. Like, so the Saturday of Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
Well,
we didn't do it.
Why are you still here? And it was 8 o'clock, right at 8 o'clock.
What are you
She's like,
still doing here?
don't you have a podcast recording? I go, it's a holiday weekend. So don't I get a holiday? No. So Tony, I hate to do this to you, Tony, but we're going to start the show off today on a little bit of a somber note. Ship's Gonna Happen Hall of Famer Jacinda Lady Trucking, and one of her very longtime friends had recently passed away, and we kind of wanted to pay respect to Luke Harmon, who lived right here in our backyard pretty much. He's was 35,
down the road.
35 of Franklin, Indiana, had passed away on Monday, November the 27th. A very unfortunate, very young man, very nice young man. Jacinda spoke extremely highly of him anytime that she was on the show, and we would talk either before or after the show. She spoke very highly of Luke, and she spent a significant amount of time in Indiana, and they had a friendship that had lasted quite a while, and we want to take a moment to pay some respects to very young Luke Harmon passing away at the young age of 35. So he will be missed, and it's unfortunate that we have to mention something like that, but we would definitely wanted to tell Jacinda that we're thinking about her and stuff. So during this unfortunate time.
Thanks for bringing that up, man. That's important stuff. I mean, Jacinda's been an important person on our show, and
she's been a huge advocate of us. She does an excellent job of pushing our podcast, and we're appreciative of her, and just wanted to send along our condolences.
Yeah, and this gentleman was obviously close to her, so condolences to their family, and
very much so.
God bless.
Very young, 35.
Yeah. So David, to start this weekend show off,
Tony, I need you to maybe help me out and completely understand why yellow is still in the news.
Yeah, it's well, I mean, a big boy's got a lot of equipment, and I think part of the news that keeps it on our sector and the transportation side of it, honestly, is I think the way that the thing's been, you got a carrier actually running the bankruptcy thing, and so I think that's kind of made it news more on our side than normally it would be.
Right. So there was just a story from the Wall Street Journal on December the 7th, where Yellow had rejected a bid to revive its company. So you're like, well, I thought it was already, why is it trying to get resuscitated, or why is it trying to get, not that I don't.
Was that from the Cooper guy? Do you know?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Not to sound, even though I hadn't planned for it. The Jack Cooper.
It was I mean, I just can't believe it was entertained.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't know how it would have worked anyway. 30,000 people come.
Well, the people you and I know, I'm not going to speak for them, but I know that they're happy what they're doing. I don't think you're going to have a lot of people come back. So your experience level is going to go from top to bottom, right? So unless you can lure others away, and you're going to have to pay money to do that. And then you're going to have to get freight, and you're going to have to cut your rates to get freight. And oh my gosh, I just don't see that working. Do you?
No. And then XPO stepping in and buying some.
XPO bought like 29 terminals, something like that. I think 28, 29.
So what happened with the Estes? Wasn't the Estes bid for those?
Estes was to manage the process.
Oh.
Yeah. So they have to bid on their terminals they want, just like every other carrier.
I see.
So it was to manage the bankruptcy, was what they did. But no, it's a good question because it's confusing.
It is.
Yeah, it's very confusing. So anyone can bid on the terminals, and there's been smaller carriers bid on some small ones and got them. Some smaller companies. That was the goal, is to open it up to the trucking community instead of having a real estate company own it all and tear it down and do whatever, right? Because we don't have enough warehouse space in this country for all the freight. So it's got to go to trucking companies.
Okay.
So hopefully, because when CF and these other carriers went out, the banks got that. And they're going to do what they do with it, which they're not thinking of trucking, right? They're going to tear it down, build a building, open it up for an open lot, build as you want, right?
Put up a Kmart. Yeah,
and how hard is it to imagine your company building? You got a lot of dock space. Imagine having to pour that today. What that would cost, the permits you'd have to get. That's why the California ones will be very, very desirable. I mean, I was thinking about it, and I don't know the correct answer, but I'm thinking if you're going to build a terminal of decent size, it's going to be a 3 to 5 year project, right? But go ahead though. You had
no. I was just saying, XPO and Saya I know had put bids in for terminals and stuff, and then the story that I was gonna.
Next week will be a big one because there's some other large terminals going to come open. So next week will be probably CSD's more, their name more. But go ahead.
Yeah. No. That's So yeah, it's just I'm just kind of reading through here. They're just discussing that. It was like you mentioned. It was just a little confusing. I'm like, I thought Estes put in a bid for all this, and then
it's 1.5. Yeah.
Okay.
So think about this: 1.5 billion was the bid to manage it, right? What XPO's already bought is 980 million or 900 million, and then Saya, it's already over $1 billion, and that you still got a lot of terminals, David, left.
Are they paying back that loan with all this?
I get. My understanding is the government's always going to get what they get first, right? What they're owed. So I guess.
So they've already got that. Then where does all this other?
I guess I don't know. I guess they got. I mean, lawsuits, whatever, going to come there or has come their way with the union, because I think there have been some union lawsuits, right? So that's a good question. I don't know the answers to it and can't speak to all that, but it's in effect, man. It's moving along. They're selling them, they're moving them, and it's good to see them going to carriers that need that space.
Well, sure, and the industry's still humming along. I mean, not humming along, but I mean, there's still
right.
Yeah. I mean, you're always going to be moving freight too. Anyway.
Yeah, as long as you and I've been doing this, we've got our ups and downs, but overall, the industry kind of stays steady to a certain extent, right?
Right.
Unless there's like COVID or something, then it gets a little crazy. But yeah, so I think, I don't know. We'll see. Next week will be a big week for them, and then you have the trucking right now a little bit congested with the holidays, and
they're putting out their GRI notices.
GRIs,
general rate increase, for those of you that aren't familiar with that term. But there was already emails coming out from all the carriers that GRIs are going to happen if they haven't already happened.
Yeah, I think a lot of them happen now, and then some in January or something. Yeah. So
there's on my end of it, there is just an absorbent amount of people that are, and there always has been, but it just seems now that the end of the year is coming up, there are just carriers or brokers, out the wazoo, just daily inundating you with
calling you
solicitations, and I always ignore all of them.
I don't understand how you can deal with that.
Oh, I ignore them all.
Drive me nuts.
There is the occasion where they get through to me. Rarely, like if I see a 317 area code number, I'm apt to answer because it might be something that's work related since we're in the 317. So I'll pick, and there was the other day I picked up, and I'm like, I'm like, this is David, and they're like, oh, this is so and so with whatever broker. How are you? And I'm like, Oliver's. I could tell he was super young and brand new into the business. I go, I'm going to let you off easy. Oliver Freight's customer routed. Everything ships freight collect. We don't route anything. He goes, but he didn't understand one word of what I just said. He was that new, and I'm like, but he's like, yeah, do you have loads to California or whatever? And I'm like, did you not just listen to one single word I said? All of our freight is customer routed. We ship everything freight collect. It just, he's like, I don't know what that means. I'm like, well, you need to research your job a little bit more before you go fucking making phone calls.
Yeah.
I hung up on him. So normally I just ignore them all.
Yeah. I mean, wow. I know it's, there's so many of them, man. There's been a lot of them going out of business too.
Yeah.
Because they can't get those, they can't really sell those LTL rates anymore like they once could.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you're exactly right. And the rates have kind of bottomed out anyway. I mean, as far as I can move Sacramento, California now for less than what we could before the pandemic. So
wow.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's nice though. It's nice to see, I'll see these videos on YouTube like, like we talked with Jacinda. I mean, you should expect these things. You need to, like, when things are good. Yeah, when things are good, you ought to be banking. You're just not spending a dollar. Just save, and then when things go this way,
yeah,
that you're prepared for it or whatever. And what is fair? I mean, do we want to keep paying whatever amount for eggs or whatever amount for this or that? I mean, to keep. I mean, if truck drivers want to make a lot of money, those prices are going to have to stay inflated or whatever. And as far as the consumer is concerned, I don't want to keep spending whatever on, stupid prices on anything, actually. So
yeah, it's kind of like water. The customer's going to gravitate toward the where the way the water flows, and if they can get cheaper rates, that's what they're going to do. And independent people are going to get, independent drivers are going to get hurt the most in this type of economy. So.
Mm-hmm.
COVID, they're gonna make out like a bandit because everybody needs everybody, right?
Yeah.
So, but yeah.
So it's cyclical or whatever.
Yeah, totally. And it'll, and then we got an election year coming up. So typically those are not like big booming economical years, right?
Right.
But they may be lowering the interest rate.
So there's an election coming up.
There's going to be
anything about that.
There's going to be 5 interest rate reductions, I think, next year. So it should help.
That's not planned.
It should help. It should help the economy a little bit. Or you wonder, are they thinking it's going to be a little rough and they're going to have to lower those rates to maintain?
What's that chief Fed do? What's his name? I saw an interview with him lately. He's a piece of something.
Jamie Dimon. He's
Is that his name?
no, he's the guy that I watch. He's the guy at JP Morgan Chase, the Fed chairman.
Yeah. Not Ben Bernanke, is it?
No, that's a pretty good name gather there. Fed chairman. Hang on.
Pulled that one out of my backside.
It's Jerome Powell. Yeah.
Oh, that guy's a piece of work.
Yeah.
I saw an interview with him like a month or so ago where he said 5 million more people need to lose their job for interest rates to be whatever.
That's true, though.
Yeah, but what are you're almost talking out of both sides of your mouth. You're like,
yeah. Well, it's their fake game they play with. There's a whole story about inflation. It's built in.
Again, we go into the companies can have all-time record profits, but then I know
that's what it's designed for.
But it's the lesser person needs to suffer or whatever.
Well, that's what's going to happen. Yeah,
right.
I'm not agreeing with it, but that's the system they designed, and he should never state that probably.
Right.
But I don't agree with it. But they need to change. I mean, they don't even measure it the same way they used to measure it. It's measured completely different. And the only one that's going to make money, you're exactly right. The record profits are the people that are benefiting from it.
Right.
And it's always going to be the banks and large corporations that swallow up other ones, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, Jerome Powell. Yeah, he's saying they're gonna. Powell says Fed to move carefully on interest rates, soft landing taking shape. So, yeah, I mean,
well, the cost of vehicles isn't coming down. I mean,
no, man. I mean, nothing is. I mean, It's. We just bought a Christmas tree, dude.
A live tree?
Yeah. Huh.
$60?
Uh,
$100?
uh,
$100? 120? 140?
140.
Bullshit.
That's Tim Davis, boys. Timmy D.
What we doing, Tony B?
What's going on?
I got you. I got
Timmy
you.
D?
I got you on air, dude.
Yeah, well, I figured y'all were recording right now.
Yeah, we just actually just kind of got going, really.
Who's on the hook?
You are on the hook.
You.
Just you and David B in the studio?
Just me and David. You coming by?
No, I'm down in Seymour. Long story, but
Okay. Hunting?
No. I had to be the golden retriever that I am and go fetch my better half a new Christmas tree since her lights kind of jacked up on her. So
Okay.
Oh.
So I got up at 6:00 this morning, headed to Louisville. I'm on my way back.
Did you bring an axe with you? Or you?
I didn't go bury no bodies now. Come on now. Oh, man. What are you guys talking about? Let me jump in. Let's go.
So we were discussing kind of the way the economy is going right now and trucking and where rates are at. And actually, with this being the end of the year, how the market's going. And at least on my end, I kind of like the way the rates and stuff are going. What are you seeing on your end, Tim? Are you seeing a lot of, are there a lot of truckloads capacity or?
I've seen the rates in the lowest side on the carrier side in a long time. Heck, I think I was quoting from the Indy market out to the Los Angeles market for like $3,000, $3,200 last week.
Oh yeah, yep, for sure.
And you backed that up 2 years ago, that was $6,200.
Oh yeah. And if
know?
wrongly inflated cost though back then, or at least in my opinion. Said at least in my opinion, that was a wrongly inflated cost. That's just me from coming up from my
I
end.
think the real number's somewhere in between, right?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, diesel prices haven't gone down. Diesel prices are still where they've been. So
Right.
It's just a matter of people trying to keep their wheels turning. I think, the scary part is, as bad as it is here, it's got to flip. Maybe I'm crazy, but that's my thought.
Right. Well, I kind of like the way things are going. I wish.
Do what?
So I kind of like the way things are going. I wish they would go a little bit further south, but that's just me from the buyer perspective versus,
further south. You think they can go further? They might. Hey, they might.
Dave
I'm just trying to get a reaction out
Dave
of you.
wants us to come to him with a check and say, David, can we haul it for this?
Yeah, there we go. That'd be nice.
That'd be his dream world.
That would be.
He wants us to be Ed McMahon shows up with clearinghouse checks.
Yeah, clearinghouse check.
Exactly.
You've won.
Exactly.
David B, I'll go to the bank. I'll get you one of those special big ones printed for you.
There we go.
You just write your own check.
We'll move all your freight for this amount of money.
Here it is.
We're going to pay you.
It's a yearly thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Jeez. And we discussed. Go ahead, Tony.
You're the last local paid customer alive, David. You're the last one that controls it.
I think about remember back in the 90s, old Don Guns there local.
Oh yeah.
Don't want to make any money.
I don't like making money. I just love selling guns or whatever it was. I just love shipping your freight for free. That's what I love to do.
That's a boarded up building now. I drive by there every now and again.
He went bankrupt, didn't he?
Oh, I don't know. Did
he went bankrupt, right?
I think he sold
after
his store got. I don't know.
Oh, it got robbed.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. A bunch of weird stuff. Yeah.
It's not the nicest of neighborhoods anyway.
No.
What's David seeing on the LTL? Are they slashing prices?
Yep.
Same thing, man.
There's some competition coming in saying we'll move it for this, and you're like, but of course, there's always that, the Central Transport's the worst. I don't care if I say anything bad about them. But anyway, I'm going to stop with that. But there's definitely other carriers coming in wanting to kind of haul it for what they can. I had a interesting call earlier in the week from there's a one of the local LTL companies. It was without a rep.
Hey, can I tie him? Go ahead.
So, there was without a rep, and so the national sales manager called, and he's like, "Oh, well, we haven't seen you been using us lately since so and so left the company." I'm like, "Well, that would be because I gave so and so the business. I'm not giving you the business. I'm not giving that carrier the business. I'm giving this salesperson the business. I have no incentive or no reason to continue to use you if you're not going to have representation for me on my end." And he's like, "Well, well, we can get somebody in there." I go, "Well, until you get somebody in there, I'm not going to give you any freight or whatever. I have zero representation. I'm an old school guy. It's the way I've always been. And it's going to take you a little while to get it back." So, but anyway, that's just.
So you're saying that the company itself doesn't provide enough product for you to do business with them. Is that what you're trying to tell us?
What I'm saying is they have nobody locally to take, as far as a sales rep, to take care of
representation.
Zero representation. So I'm not going to give you any freight. If you're not going to give me representation, I'm not going to give you any freight. If that makes, that's just, I'm old school like that. That's just the way I am. I'm not giving that company business. I'm giving that salesperson the business.
So are you a person that doesn't believe in the Carvana? You don't believe in the Carvana model? You like to go to down the street to Ray Skillman or Bill Estes, the dealership, and work with someone there?
I want to sit.
You don't believe on doing that?
I want to sit this pretty little backside in a vehicle myself and give it the test drive instead of.
Do what?
I said I want to sit this pretty behind of mine that I've got in the seat and give it a test drive instead of just be like, instead of catalog shopping. I want to just kind of go try it on for myself, if that makes sense.
And maybe Tony B, this is why they got rid of the Sky Mall. This is why they got rid of the Sky Mall on the planes right here.
Exactly.
So, I mean, anyway, yeah, it's just the way I've always have been. I mean, that's kind of. Going back,
how cool would it be if Sky Mall had a rep on every single plane and did demonstrations on the plane?
Yeah, there you go.
How many more sales they would make?
Oh yeah,
yeah. Get one of the.
They could walk up and down the aisle, demonstrating the product. You see, I'm just saying. I don't know.
And then also sell you a Coke or a mixed drink or whatever, maybe
$30.99.
There we go. That's crazy.
Oh.
Wow.
Timmy D. Getting a tree?
Got a tree on a skid.
Oh wow! All right.
A long skid.
No, it's an artificial tree. It's something that I don't know. She wanted. They don't make anymore. This is the last store model. Had to drive all the way to Louisville to go get it.
Was it a General Foam Plastics tree?
Yeah, that'd have been a good one.
So it is not. So I was like, well, I know a guy, or I used to know a guy. They used to make these for about $3, and they go for about $900 now. And I'm thinking to myself, like, what are we doing?
Right.
So Lindsay's doing okay? Is everything okay with her? You mentioned she's feeling down.
No, she's good. They want to do.
Okay.
They did Santa. They did what's it called? Breakfast with Santa this morning.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
See, that's how I got out of this, Tony B. I was like, you know what? I'll go get that tree you've been looking for. Don't worry about it, honey.
Yeah.
Enjoy Santa. Breakfast with Santa.
There you go. That's good time.
Producer Tony said that they just bought a Christmas tree too. So right before you called, literally right before.
Expensive, Tim, huh?
Oh my gosh.
Crazy. We bought a live one, dude. $140.
Woo.
Oh, you got a live one?
$140, dude.
Oh man.
Usually like $75, $80.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy.
Did you go out and cut it down yourself, or?
No, I've done that. I did that one time, and the family laughs at me because it's not easy cutting down a tree. It's not easy. I said next time I'm bringing my chainsaw. You can't bring a chainsaw. You couldn't bring a chainsaw to this place. You had to bring a saw, and I had this old like 1970 blade saw that.
Oh gosh.
Just was all rusty, and I brought that out there, and it took. I'm gonna admit this. Embarrassingly, the gentleman had to come help me. Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah.
Ain't nothing wrong with a little extra elbow grease to help you out.
I know. And then we cut it right, and it wasn't like the cleanest straight cut.
Mm-hmm.
So then he puts it on the table, and he gets out a chainsaw. And and I thought that was the funniest thing is here I am on my hands and knees. It was snowy out. That's why I couldn't do it. It was really cold, dude. It might have been like 18 degrees or something. Ooh. And Ann was like, "Are you sure you want to do this?" And I was like, "Yeah.
This is great."
And I got outside and went, "Whoa, no." But Tim, that's
my brother. They do. That's their family tradition. They go out and cut down a tree.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not interested in that, and no, not interested.
Yeah.
I feel like you're wasting money too, right? I mean, like you said, it's $100 a tree. I guess $140 now.
Yep. Did it once. Yeah. I always thought we should get miniature ones and just put them in a pot and let them grow out in the back and then just bring them in during Christmas, right? I mean, that would be so freaking easy and wouldn't have to pay shit for it.
Go out and get the tree.
Yeah, I mean, you could put one of those probably in a fucking trash can, right?
I'll be right back. I gotta go outside and get the tree.
All you need to buy then is a dolly.
Right.
Just get a dolly and bring it in. Here it is, honey. What am I going to do with the trash can? Decorate it.
And go get the tree.
Decorate the trash can.
Go get the tree in your house coat and shoes on. Get the damn tree on. Oh my God. I have to get the tree.
I remember when I was a bachelor and I had bought my house and I decided to have a family Christmas party. I had to go that morning to go buy a tree from Lowe's because I didn't even have a Christmas tree at the house.
Oh, yeah.
And my mom was like, "You got to have one." I'm like, "All right, then." So I went and bought one and I was like, "This is why I don't have a Christmas tree." For a small little dude I had, I don't know what he was, like 6 foot, like a skinny 6 footer.
Yeah.
Was like $200, and I'm like, "Holy smokes!"
I know.
And then you got needles until June in the carpet. Or on the floor.
Needles until when? June.
June. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh,
dude. Yeah. It's a. I think I love Christmas. It's my favorite time of the year.
Mm-hmm.
But boy, it's a production, Tim. Like, so I know that. I haven't been to David's house in a while, but I don't know if you got lights up.
We do not.
You do not. But I was thinking, like, man, all this work to put these lights up. Mm-hmm. God dang, dude. Like, people in my neighborhood started like Thanksgiving, like before. And I'm like, what the hell's going on, man?
And it illuminates the neighborhood, like, whoa.
Yeah, and then Tim's got that dude down from the corner of him.
Okay.
Yeah, he lights it up, dude.
They bring a boom in for that guy.
Yeah, that dude. Hey, you might be able to see that dude from space. I mean, there's some shit going on there.
Oh, wow.
But so I'm like, so here's what I've been thinking. So you ever see these commercial projectors that you can put on your house?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got one.
Wait, but I mean, do you have a real, like a one that like a? It
don't work very well. In my opinion.
That's what I'm saying. They have them out there that work really well. So what I've been trying to convince Ann is, let's sell all this shit. And then just get that projector. I'll show you, David. It's you wouldn't believe it. It's like, dude, you could have all sorts of designs on your house. It's obviously got to be dark out, right?
Oh, yeah.
It's unbelievable. I think I'm going to switch to that.
So I did notice the first time I've ever seen this coming through the back end of your neighborhood this morning that there's a sign in somebody's yard that people actually there's a tree or there's a house decorating business.
Yes.
A lighting a house.
Multiple,
I didn't realize. I didn't know that existed.
Oh yeah. It's something new, but
next thing you're gonna tell me.
I was a jerk that pulled the sign out from the front of my neighborhood that someone had left. I'm like, look, we're not at a billboard here, buddy. Sorry, move it down to the end of the street. My neighbor, that's what they use. They still got the sign in front of them, and it looks good, but they charge you. A friend of ours had it quoted, and they wanted like $2,500 for just to outline the house.
What?
Oh, wow.
Yes.
No.
It was insane.
Does that come with lights?
That's come with lights. Yep. So they'll come out with their own lights and line your house. And she lives right there on 700. She's I don't know, probably 1,700 square foot ranch. Nothing crazy.
My thought is, if you're paying for somebody to put up your lights, you're obviously into the spirit to do it. But I mean, and then you got to put a sign in your yard. Hey, this company.
Well, I wonder if that's a discount sign. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Say $500, something like, I don't know.
Sure. Yep.
Yeah.
Wow.
I've seen these lights. They have almost like rope lights that you can put on your house for year round. You got a remote, you can change it. So like 4th of July, right? New Year's or whatever, Easter, Halloween, you can change it, do kind of different things, which is the way to go if you if you got the cash laying around to get that done one time, that's the way to go.
Yep.
That's the ticket.
So speaking of people, you haven't had money to do it. Is that what you do?
What's that?
Since speaking of money, and you got a lot of money, is that how you do it?
Yeah, that's sitting on it. I'm literally sitting on it right now, Tony.
Sitting on a lot of cash. Come decorate.
Oh,
No. Hey.
It may be in pesos, but it looks thick.
Right, there you
It's
go.
in pesos.
There
Here's
you go.
10,000 pesos. Oh, man. That's cool, man. So you're driving back?
Yeah, just north of Columbus there, I think.
Wow.
So, and you went to Louisville to get that?
Say that again?
You went to Louisville to pick that up is where you went?
Yeah, south side of Louisville.
Underrated town.
Just on the south loop there. It wasn't bad. I got up at 6, left the house like 6:20, and I'm almost home. So
and then in a week or two that toll bill will come or whatever, that they have to pay a toll, so you'll get a toll bill.
yes.
So your hero husband this weekend went and got
I
the
don't know
tree.
about that.
Look at what
Well,
Daddy
see,
got.
I hope it works. No, she's already got another tree up, but she wanted this one. So
Okay.
then I had to stop by and get my stuff to make guacamole for tonight for a party we're going to. You know, that award-winning stuff.
nice.
So
Timmy D's guacamole's
Nice.
good. It's
I
good.
did win the ugly sweater was last
You won
Friday.
it?
I did.
Nice.
Yeah, and
Which
I didn't
one'd you
even wear
wear?
a sweater.
Oh, you didn't?
I don't have one.
Oh.
And I won.
how did that go, by the way?
It was-
I called. They said it was going to be real late. It wasn't in the afternoon.
So to your point with that, I had nothing to do with any of it. And so they said the time was going to be from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. And I'm like, I didn't say anything to them. I'm like, how's that going to work when you're trying to serve dinner? These are your peak dinner hours. But I'm like, I'm not going to say a word. This is what you're doing. So I showed up at about 6:30 or something, and it was packed, absolutely packed with people. And it was a great turnout. They organized it really, really well. And I intentionally didn't wear a sweater because I didn't want to win. I'm like, I don't want to win. I just want to show up and blah, blah, blah.
Bam.
And then
Winner,
behold,
David Boyles.
lose at the walk
DB.
off, but you could win this ugly sweater competition.
So you raised some good money then for what?
I don't-
I don't know
so
what charity you guys
I-
were doing it for. That's one thing I don't know.
Yeah, and I can't answer that either, bud. Sorry. I know Donna. I went back last night to try to get an idea of what happened, and Donna wasn't there, so I couldn't. I don't know. I still don't know. So they had a donation bucket just set out, and I threw in a 20 and took out 10 of 5 and 4 ones. So no, I'm joking.
I think you should have threw in your phone number and a blank check and said, "Please write this to match what everyone else did." That's what you should have done.
right.
Right.
I'll match any
Yeah,
donation.
right.
That's right.
hang up on him.
David B for the win.
But it was packed. I mean, and they gave away some whatever. And I think they might have confused me with an actual physical ugly sweater versus
No.
yeah, there's
Everybody
ugly
likes you.
sweater.
You put it together. That's why you won, man. We
Yeah,
wouldn't be there.
Right. So
Um,
anyway.
Hey, let me stop this and tie Tim in on the Bluetooth thing.
Okay. All right.
All right. Hang on one
What do you
second.
want me to do? You want me to call you back?
No,
You
no,
wanna
no,
call
no.
me?
Yeah, I don't think you have to. Just give me 1 second here. I'm gonna stop. We're rolling. Timmy D tied in on the Bluetooth screen. Go
There we
ahead,
go.
Timmy D. Can you hear me, Tim?
Look at this. You know, we call that, it's like my seatbelts are wireless.
Oh.
Ah.
Oh. Next
I'm
thing
not
you,
encouraging that for folks.
next thing you know, that somebody's going to tell me that my camera can take phone calls or whatever.
You know, it can. It can now do that.
Really?
You can actually tie someone. Yeah.
Anyway.
I know your point.
Mm-hmm.
So-
technology.
So Timmy D, bringing back the tree, the dream tree, the dream tree.
I wasn't who I was calling in to say
So
that,
how-
but that is what's happening.
Right. So,
What is,
so your little
Okay,
one,
there you go.
this
ahead.
will be his first like Christmas that he probably really kind of is like super excited about Santa, isn't it? Or
How old is he? Yeah.
Yeah, he's just over 2.5.
Okay.
Yeah. Terrible twos.
Everything is Christmas.
Yeah.
So any kind of lights, trees, Santa, snowman.
He's an
He's
enthusiast.
getting better at identifying Santa and snowman. So,
Right, cool.
yeah. He figured, he kind of presents. He knows what that is.
right?
That's good stuff,
We're
man.
working on it.
Yeah.
We're working on it.
So
I know I look like the Grinch in the neighborhood too because I don't have any lights up. Normally, I've got like a 10-foot blow up snowman I put up, and then I got a couple like floodlights I do.
Yeah.
But my plan was to put up like on the peaks of my roof, like coming down. I was gonna do like Christmas trees with lights.
Oh yeah.
But I can't find them. Christmas lights are stupid expensive.
I
was like, I'm gonna
know.
wait till afterwards. We'll have to wait till next year.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna spend that kind of money right now.
Right.
Now, my last house when we lived together, I built an archway across the driveway. It was pretty bad at the bone. You drove underneath a tunnel of lights.
I think I saw that. I remember seeing that. That was nice, man.
It's pretty cool.
Wow.
How long did it take you to whittle that?
I don't know. It was more fighting the wind because you got basically all I used was PVC pipe, and then I used rope to anchor it down, kind of deal.
That was pretty cool, man.
But I left it at the old house. I noticed they used the icicle lights I left, but they didn't mess with the other stuff. I don't know. They're like, what is this?
Right.
So what did you think about so David talked about earlier, the yellow, there was a bid turned down
to revive yellow.
Didn't XPO buy $870 million worth?
They did, yep.
And then Saya bought X amount worth too.
And I was saying next week, I hear it'll be a big week for more of it.
Okay, well, I didn't hear all that. I only read the article of XPO grabbing $870 million.
It's 28 terminals or 29.
Saya got 17.
It was 28 or 29 terminals that XPO got. They got the Girls School Road.
Do what?
Yep, XPO got the Girls School Road. Yep. Yeah.
They went with, I guess they're.
Estes took South Tibbs.
Did they really?
Yeah, Estes has a terminal at Morris. They'll move that one over. Yeah.
So here's my question: is the Bloomington, Californias of the world, right?
I don't think they rolled those out yet.
Okay, so that's going to be the big piece.
Right.
That in Chicago, I think some of those terminals that have been around, and think about the East Coast, right?
Yeah.
Some of the Philadelphia things, those terminals have been around for 100 years.
Yeah.
Right.
So they're grandfathered in. Now I don't know how the EPA stuff is going to work with the fuel islands and things. So
that's a good point.
That'll be an interesting piece. But if you remember, Holland and Indianapolis moved from their facility in Greenwood, Indiana, up to
Tibbs,
and it was legal because the company still owned it, and the YRC could not sell it because of the leaking fuel basically into the environment. But yet they let Holland, who was part of the YRC, I don't know, whatever.
Yeah.
They let them go. So if some company is buying these properties, I assume they're going to be grandfathered in to use them as seen fit, correct?
I would think so. I don't know if they'll actually use the fuel island there, but the way they operate. But yeah, the other thing too is Estes already had owned some terminals and leased them back to Yellow. I forgot about that. So they already assumed.
So look at them being smart originally, huh?
Yep. Yep. It was I think it was 12 to 20. I'm not sure. But like Rockford was one of them. So there's some that already.
Rockford, Illinois.
Yeah. So, but the Tibbs is interesting because I was looking at it at Google Earth. And I didn't realize they had added onto that dock because it used to be the old patio doors. Remember those? Mm-hmm. It looks like they rounded it off with concrete. So,
it's the same amount of doors. It's 171, I think.
171 doors.
Yeah, 173 maybe.
That sounds about right. Yep. Because the one they'd be moving from is probably it's a lot less than that. So,
I know these terminals were that's the big deal, right?
Oh yeah, it's huge, man. Yeah. I mean, Roadway back in the day in Yellow spared no expenses at their terminals, man. They have some nice ones.
And I know they're old, but it's the real estate in general that you just can't get into anymore.
Right. I mean, imagine having.
It'd be interesting what some of these other markets do out there, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Imagine having to pour the concrete to build a Girls School Road terminal, right? I I mean, geez, how many years would that? I mean, just the time and the money, the years, the permits, you know what I mean? It's a lot of agony.
Yeah. I guess so. That stuff's always fascinated me, and is thinking to myself, okay, let's say whomever buys that terminal, what is their projection on return on investment? Is it a 3-year return on investment by efficiency? Is it a 10-year? I mean, who is the person analyzing those numbers to justify that kind of cash? In my opinion.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good point.
You got your other wife telling you where to go, I hear.
Turn here.
Yeah. The good news is when I hit this one, she doesn't call anybody on me. So.
She doesn't talk back, does she?
Keep your mouth. Right.
Literally, she can no longer make calls. You get it? All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I am looking for a billboard, boys. I'm in the billboard section. Just
section.
So you know.
There you go. Yeah.
So you're gonna have to turn your head because it faces southbound.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
So you would have seen it going down. It would have right at the exit 99 mile marker.
That's why he called.
On the east side of 65. So if you want to see it now, you got to turn your head. You got to turn all the way around and get.
I got mirrors. I'm a professional.
There we go.
That's why Timmy called. That's why Timmy D called. He saw it on the way down and said, "Shit, I forgot. I got a podcast."
So speaking, I want to change the subject. I want to change the subject just a little bit. Like yesterday. That 65-70 split downtown is no effing better. Is no effing better than it was before they did all that work. So somebody needs to do.
Horrible.
Somebody needs to do a story or find out why the hell. Oh, all that money! It is so bad. It was terrible last night.
Yeah.
Oh my god! And
it's terrible every day.
Right.
It's worse than it was.
Yes, that is just absolutely ridiculous. Traffic is backed up to the 21st Street exit. That's crazy.
They closed that split. That's a major split, right? Indianapolis is the crossroads of America. It's a huge split.
Right.
Crossing of the two biggest major highways that reach coast to coast, border to border.
Right.
Coast to coast, border
they
to border.
shut it down for over almost 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
Shut it down.
Mm-hmm.
Shut it down, and then you open it back up. And you have a traffic backlog at 9 p.m.
Right.
Like, what are we doing, folks?
Yes.
What are we doing?
Yes.
It's horrible, man.
Now, the concrete looks beautiful. I mean, it's clean.
Yep.
Tax dollars well spent.
It's just absolutely. Then there's no. I don't know.
So Tim, are they putting a light on the on ramp right here off of 52 onto 465?
So you Indiana Hoosiers aren't used to this type of thing. Maybe Tony B is, but this is actually very common practice in bigger, larger cities.
Okay.
It brings me to the I-5 out in California.
Mm-hmm.
So the whole South Side is kind of going to be the first trial period, I think, until they get the northeast section done. But these are control aspects where they're going to have them timed out based on cameras to release so many cars to come onto the on-ramp to help with traffic and merging so that you don't have the constant backup. And then on top of that, what you haven't seen, or most people haven't seen, is they're also going to have what do you call that? Not interchangeable, but the speed limit is going to change. So it's going to go from 45, 55, and 65 within those zones. They've got electronic speed limit boards that they're going to change by just punching a button based on the traffic flow. So during peak times, it'll be 45 mile an hour.
Nice.
But yeah, that's basically what they're doing. And they're starting with the 65 over around to I think all the way at the penalty box. So yeah, the whole, for you folks out there nationally listening, that's basically Indianapolis at about 5 o'clock over 3 o'clock is where they're going to kind of control that route, that circle around Indianapolis.
Nothing could go wrong there.
No, they should just put a roundabout in. That would solve it.
Hancock County needs to get with Carmel up there about how to really install roundabouts.
Yeah,
the ones they're doing are horrible.
They're short. They're not that big enough, right? It's bad, dude.
Yeah, they're so shallow.
Yeah, it's bad. It's bad.
So no truck traffic can get.
Oh, it's bad. No.
Oh.
Did you know a roundabout costs like $2.5 million a pop?
Oh, I believe.
I
it.
believe it.
Yep, I believe it.
It's insane to me.
Yeah,
It is.
you'll be my roundabout. That wasn't 1981, was it?
I don't think so.
You'll be my
That was probably in the
roundabout.
70s.
Yeah.
Early
That was
70s.
a good
Mike?
song, dude.
Is that Rush?
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
yes. No, the band. Yes,
Oh.
the band. Yes. You'll be my roundabout. I think, right? Yeah.
Mm,
Yes, roundabout.
You guys should ask me, but I can give
Yeah.
you no clue.
right.
Roundabout.
Right.
So, Tim, we're covering 1981. We're ready to jump in, and Dave's going to start us off here.
Damn, holy crap. Hold on.
Here, well, wait,
I gotta-
5.
I got to put my
4.
glasses on. Did you hang up on us last time, Tim, because we were talking music? Is that what you did?
No, you guys. This is
We
gonna
lost
sound
him.
insane.
We lost
When
him.
I was at the hunting stand, this is no lie. You guys started talking music. I think Matty Ice started talking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it turned into what sounded like a record scratching. You guys talk.
Ah,
I can't make it up.
okay.
If I was
Alright.
trying to pull out my other phone and record it, but I didn't want to put it on speaker too loud because it literally it was like. I'm like,
Oh yeah, like if we walked
was-
into some really fancy store or whatever, and if they were playing a song and the song would go, these
Yeah.
guys don't belong in here. What are these
Yes.
guys doing?
and fancy to you and me is Nordstrom.
Right. Yes. Well, I was. Yeah. I would even go Walgreens or something probably. Like,
Oh, ooh.
what are they doing in here? So, we ready there, PT?
Let's do it.
All right. So Tim, we've kind of, and we need to have a discussion with Tim. We've kind of taken things in a different direction without Tim really knowing what's going on, but we're going to do the Reckless Club version of the podcast right now and discuss the music of
Breakfast Club.
the Reckless
Reckless.
Club
Yeah.
podcast
Restless Club.
and
Right,
discuss the music of 1981. And anytime I told producer Tony this before in pre-show that, I mean, I already feel old, but when you review music from 1981, I'm like, holy crap, I'm old. I mean, it's just
You
like,
are,
it's,
man.
but it doesn't seem like it was that long ago. The number one song in 1981, the overall number one song in 1981, according to Billboard, was,
Let me
Tim-
guess.
okay, please.
Was it Michael Jackson?
No.
Let's see, is he in here?
He is in here.
No?
But he's
Not a
definitely
bad guess, but not that year. Didn't have a big hit.
No. Anyway, it's if Matt was here, Matt would know. It was Betty Davis Eyes by Kim Carnes.
Do you know that song? She's got Betty Davis eyes.
Never heard it in my life.
Your mom and dad know it.
Yeah, your mom and dad definitely know.
They
it.
probably made out to it.
and then
That's probably how my brother was conceived. That's what I'm doing.
Yeah, his eyes look like Betty Davis, by the way.
Right, there we go. Some of the other
Just saying that last name, it's all there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some of the other songs from 1981, Endless Love by Diana Ross and Lionel Richie, Lady by Kenny Rogers.
Lady.
That goes back to Matt's point from the last podcast where, kind of country artists work
artists,
work themselves into the
Pop genre.
pop top
Yeah.
40 or whatever.
I
Jesse's
wish
Girl
that
by
I had Jesse's girl.
I was going the same way with Rick Springfield. Celebration by Kool and the Gang.
Celebrate good times.
Now I don't I thought 9 to 5.
Now,
9
that's
to
a
5.
good one. I know that one.
Yeah,
9 to 5 was from 80.
that's what I thought
I think
too.
it carried over.
Yeah. I'm like, am I missing something here?
Oh,
Blondie.
wait, your favorite song is on there, isn't it?
Am I missing
The
something?
Kiss on my list.
Yeah, Hall and Oates.
What were you saying though? What was number 6?
I'm sorry. Celebration.
Celebration.
Kool and the Gang.
Number 6. Okay, you're
yeah.
on 7.
So Kiss My. Yeah, I was gonna kind of jump around.
Yeah,
from
yeah,
there.
yeah. Do what you
The
want.
one song on this list that I was gonna listen to it, but I don't remember this song. Is "Morning Train" by Sheena Easton. I don't remember that. I do think I remember her being like smoking hot. Am I wrong?
Sheena E was a Prince.
Okay.
I think Prince promoted her, got her in the business, but she was a part of his band at one time. I think maybe,
Are we sure we're talking
Sheena.
about the same?
maybe not.
I don't know.
I don't know. I could be
I'll
wrong.
tap on I'll tap on.
Well, Prince wasn't around then, was he?
No. Yeah, I'm not seeing that.
Anyway,
Reading her bio, I'm not seeing.
Johnny Cougar had one in there.
Yeah, what was
Ain't even done with the night.
1981. Wow. Blondie's Rapture by Blondie. So, The Tide is High, another Blondie song.
Queen, another one. Bots Dust.
Yep.
Another one gone.
Right.
Hey, real quick, random. I need to know. I need advice. I've got like 9 miles to the gas station I want to go to and 14 on my reader. What do I do here, folks?
Push it.
Push it.
Push it.
Go.
Push it?
Push
Or should I go live on
it.
it?
Push it.
Hey, may
Yeah.
stop in front of the studio and you have to help me literally push it.
We'll send out the Ship's Gonna Happen rescue truck.
There we go. Yeah.
All right, folks. I'm telling you, I'm at 13 miles.
Battery's dead.
It's 7.3 to get there.
I will embarrassingly admit, since you brought that up, I did run out of gas a month ago.
Really?
I have a new company car, and it doesn't have the reserve that the old one had. And you just get busy as on the phone, pulled over, sent a text, sent an email, light came on, forgot about it, and I ran out right in front of a gas station.
Okay.
Yeah, hadn't had that happen in a long time. So Tim, it's kind of fun to push it a little bit, but man, I don't know, dude. You know your truck better than we do.
One time, I think I was in high school on the way to work on a Saturday morning. I got hammered drunk the night before.
No.
And I ran out halfway to work and I was already running late. That's the only time I've ever run out.
Wow.
I'm real nervous. I'm passing like 4 gas stations on the way here, just so everyone understands where we're
You
at.
better go, dude. Don't do it because you could run out. You got a big truck too. You in a big truck?
Look, you guys I'm getting ready to pass the studio. I'm hoping if I make it that far. I'm pretty close. I'm going to be all right. I'm going to make this.
All right.
I'll let you guys know what my reserve says when I get there. Keep talking music now.
There we go. So I'm going to go. So part of this review of 1981 are bands that were disbanded in 1981. Bands that kind of threw in the towel, like, I'm not doing this no more. Steely Dan broke up in 1981. But
Reeling in the years.
They reformed in 1993, but they broke up.
Yep.
Paul McCartney and Wings broke up in 1981.
Wow.
The Knack, which their big song was My Sharona.
My Sharona. Yep.
They reformed in 1991, but they broke up in 81. Bay City Rollers. So,
oh my God,
music can never be the same.
Dude,
the Bay City Rollers.
Did you have to
SATURDAY?
SATURDAY.
Night.
Yeah, sad. Oh my gosh, that band was pretty popular back in the day.
Oh sure, yeah.
Why, as a listener over here, do I think of you two putting on wigs and headbands right now?
You should see David Boyle.
But we're putting them on each. We're putting. You do know we're putting them on each other. I'm not putting mine on. I'm
Dave, right now, David
Boyle goes that far.
Right now, David looks. Oh my gosh! Right now, David looks like a cross between Slash and Mick Jagger.
Oh wow! Yeah. Huh. Okay. All right.
Come on, lady.
I was thinking more like. I was hoping for the David Bowie 1981 look.
Oh, sure there we go.
He was probably in his Stardust
days, yeah. Ziggy right? Stardust, yeah.
Yeah. So that's a Starland vocal band broke up in 1981. So that's just a few.
So when you're looking up songs, are you looking at most sold single type of song? Or are you looking at just what was on the Billboard's Top 100?
So hang on real quick. What band was that?
Starland, I don't remember anymore. Sorry, I've clicked off of that.
Is that the Afternoon Delight?
I think.
That was a great song.
Maybe so. Yeah.
Afternoon Delight. That was a great song.
So, Tim, to your point, but we are looking at the Billboard Top 100 is what we're looking at. So, my information comes courtesy of the always popular Wikipedia. So that's where I'm getting my info as far as the Billboard Hot 100 from 1981. So,
and now correct me if I'm wrong here, because folks, this was before my time. This was cassettes were available at this time, correct?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. If you didn't have a cassette, you weren't in the game.
When did cassettes come into play? Like 76, 78?
Probably late 70s, early 80s.
Mm-hmm.
And it lasted for a while.
Right. Yeah.
It was the old 8-track. It was LPs, records. Then
8-track was very, very short-lived, right?
Yes.
20 years maybe?
Yeah. and then maybe less, Tim, and then maybe 60s to 70s, maybe a decade at the most, because cassettes started coming out, and it took
feel like
over.
CDs were pretty short too, right? Because you went from cassette,
right?
And CDs kind of came out with the Walkman, and then it went away
Yep.
to straight MP3 players, right?
Exactly. Apple changed it forever.
What do they call it now? I mean, it's all video streaming now, right?
Yeah.
The crack research team of the Reckless Club podcast has just found out that the cassette tape was released in August of 1963.
63. Wow. Really?
Yep.
But our parents didn't have them.
No. My parents, not until far later. I mean, I always had a record player. Or as I say at home, a record player.
A record player.
So it's one of those words anyway. But
as soon as Dave turns on the record player, he hears, "What are you doing here?"
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Why are you here? You're not supposed to be here.
Don't you have a podcast?
Yeah. Don't you have a podcast? Don't you have somewhere to be other than here? Yeah. So
it's a good year for music, man.
It is. Yeah. It just,
not as good as 80 was.
No, 80 was really, really good.
But John Lennon had a hit too.
Yeah.
Just like starting over.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah.
I love a rainy night.
Juice Newton was
Juice Newton.
1981.
Yeah.
Her Angel of the Morning.
Angel. Oh, yeah.
She changed her name, I think, eventually to Juice Newton. I think she was born Judith Newton or something like that, and then changed her name to Juice Newton. I'm not sure that story's right. This is not a factual podcast. Or at least some of it's not factual. Let's see here.
Tim, real quick, what do you think your parents listened to in 81? Would they have been listening to this, or were they country? Were they? What'd you grow up listening?
They were definitely rock and roll. I mean, they were definitely hard. All the 80s bands you got to talk about, the 70s. I mean, the Beatles. I mean, they did whatever was back in your guys' days. I don't know.
Right. Billy Squier had a song called Stroke. Stroke it. Stroke it. Stroke it.
I'm sure.
Yep. Sticks. Too much time on my hands.
Too much time on my hands.
They love. I feel like Styx is one of their favorite bands.
Quick story. Tommy Shaw. Quick story on that. I know some history on that.
Okay.
I grew up in Chicago. I was a big Styx fan. That's all they played all day long. 5 radio stations. Boom, 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 boom. Styx, REO Speedwagon. Anyways, Tommy Shaw was running late to the airport. He was supposed to write a song for the group. He hadn't written it yet. He wrote it on his way to the airport.
Was it too much time on my hands?
Too much time. And he wrote the opposite of what he had because he was running out of time and he didn't have too much time.
Mm-hmm.
Great song, dude.
Yeah.
Great song.
Yeah, very much so. Let's see here.
I'm passing the studio with 8 miles left in the tank.
You knew you could do it.
The Police had a...
Do. A da. Yuck. I didn't like that song.
To me, that's the
overrated band, dude.
Yeah,
to me,
yeah.
Personally. God,
just a bunch of.
So random here because we're talking about I don't know when they came a scene, but my better half, her favorite band of all time is Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Oh yeah,
they're coming through.
They'll be coming up.
And I'm gonna make an announcement because I know she don't listen to the podcast. I got on and got pre-sale tickets for her birthday in February. They're coming next July to Indy. So,
what?
But they added on to their last tour. This is the last tour, and they added on the Indies on there.
They're going to Ruoff?
So, going to Ruoff into July 25th.
No shit.
So I bought a bunch of tickets that I was going to give her. We don't do the Christmas stuff for each other, right?
Right.
We're
do we.
We're a little old for that.
Did you get them at the
place in life? Did
you get them at Ruoff or did you get them off Red Hot Chili Peppers?
I got them. I actually got them before pre-sale. So for some reason, I don't know.
Damn,
City
dude.
credit card or something. I don't know how I stumbled into them, but City credit card lets you get in. They had certain seats available for City credit card members. So I was able to get on there the other night before pre-sale and buy some. You know, we're a little older, so I went ahead and stepped up and bought the seats versus the lawn.
Oh yeah, you're up. Yeah. Damn, dude, that's gonna be one hell of a concert.
Is it Red Hot Chili Peppers back in those days? I mean, that's got to be right around.
They came by, I think, mid to late 80s.
85.
Yeah, mid to late, and
their album "Blood Sugar Sex Magic" is the first They're probably not. I mean, that's the one that resonates with me. They may have had an album prior.
I'm not
to that,
sure.
But that's the one album
that resonates with you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna look it up real quick because that's a good one, Tim. Thanks for bringing that. Red
That is
Hot
a good one. Yeah.
Chili Peppers.
And I did make it to the gas station, so you guys don't have to push me. I had 7 miles left. Just
Well,
so we're all on the same.
We will leave the Ship's Gonna Happen rescue truck in the driveway. Red Hot Chili Peppers started in '82
Oh, wow.
because they were known.
Sophomore year.
Well, they were known as a different band. They were known as Tony Flo and the Miraculous Majestics from '82 to '83.
Mm.
So then they became the Red Hot Chili Peppers in '82 at some time.
So Tony had to take a back seat, what I'm hearing.
Right.
Yeah. Yep.
So Neil Diamond had a couple songs in 1981. America being.
America.
Neil Diamond, there you
coming
go.
to
I know that name.
America.
Yeah.
Barry Manilow.
Queen.
I made it through the rain.
Queen, another one bites the dust.
How about Ronnie Millsap? Smoky Mountain Rain, baby.
See, again, there's
Country.
Yeah.
Dude was awesome. Ronnie Millsap.
Eddie Rabbit.
I love a rainy night. Was it that one?
Step by Step.
Oh, Step by Step. Step by Step. That was a slower version for him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Sheena Easton, the one you mentioned earlier, had a For Your Eyes Only.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know she sang that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Barbara Streisand, a couple songs. Ronnie Millsap.
I'm going to see if you're going to mention a big one, dude. There's a big one in here, dude, down at the bottom.
Boss Skaggs.
I like Boss Skaggs,
Andy
but no.
Gibb.
Nope.
Diana Ross.
Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun.
Oh, Whip It. Yeah,
Whip
by
It.
Devo.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I like that one.
Oh, yeah.
Whip
yeah,
It
yeah.
Good.
They still perform.
That band
They
was
still
awesome.
perform.
Well, yeah, but you know the drummer for Foo Fighters, that's where he came from. During the concert, they started to play bum 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 bum, and he was doing it. Bum, bum. They were playing Whip It a little bit, not the whole thing, just a little cut from it.
Red Hot Chili Peppers cover the song Brandy, and they do a phenomenal job.
Brandy from
You're a Fine Girl.
that's a great song, man.
Red Hot Chili Peppers
Yeah.
cover that song in their concerts, and they do an
Really?
excellent job.
I need
Look
to
it up.
Yeah.
You got to watch it someday. Can't
Yeah.
right now because of copyright.
Right. Copyright. But yeah. Man, I didn't know they did that.
Yeah. Yep. Okay. So that's about.
Alabama's in there too.
Christopher Cross. He actually won Album of the Year that year, I believe. Christopher Cross won Album of the Year that year.
Probably.
For
he was
Sailing?
huge, man.
Sailing.
Sailing. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's another cool one in here. You know the band Pablo Cruz?
No.
I always thought Pablo Cruz was a guy,
Alan Parsons Project.
but it's a band. And they had some big hits in the late 70s. But anyways, they're in here with Cool Love.
Okay. Alan Parsons Project.
Yeah, remember them?
Kind of randomly seeing some names. Manhattan Transfer.
Beach Boys had a hit.
Gino Vanelli.
I don't. Who's that?
I don't know. Air Supply.
Which one was that?
2 songs. Every Woman in the World, and then The One That You Love.
I don't remember those.
That's definitely the yacht rock. That's yacht rock stuff there.
Yacht rock.
So
Yacht rock.
the Pointer Sisters, Blondie, Smokey Robinson.
Smokey Robinson and the Miracles.
Timmy, you been following the Pacers at all?
Switching it up. Timmy D?
I watched the game Thursday night, and I think I watched the game before that as well. I'll probably watch tonight, yeah.
Championship
My
round.
favorite thing these people around here always say, though, I really like them. They look fun. They're fun to watch, Yeah, but they're not winning championships, so it doesn't matter. That's the facts, folks.
Yeah.
But, yeah, they look really good.
Yeah.
You know what the funny? Not only did the Colts get every 1 p.m. game, right, this year, but the Pacers only have one primetime game. They only have one game on TNT,
Right.
and then they've got 4 other games on a different network. So they have 0 primetime basically. At the end they have 82 games, and only 5 of those are on anything outside of your local network, which is Bally Sports for them.
So Tim,
That's how bad they got shafted.
right.
year.
So Tim, let's talk about that. You as a Colts fan and a season ticket holder, do those having all those 1 p.m. games, is that something you like, or do you not like that?
No, they don't bother me at all. I would rather the worst ones are your Monday night, 8 p.m. You know, your front those games suck, and honestly, Sunday night games suck too, just because of
Probably Thursday
reasons,
night too, right?
Yeah, Thursday night's not as bad because it's just a Friday. But I like a 4 p.m. in my opinion because I don't have to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning to do my tailgate. I can get up at 8 a.m. and get down there and set up, and then you get home in time to go to bed by 11. So, but I'm not. I'd rather have a 1 o'clock Sunday game than I would a Sunday night 8 p.m. game for sure.
Okay.
What about your Colts, man? The Colts have been fun to watch. I'm not a Colts fan, but I got to tell you, they've been fun to watch.
They've been interesting to watch, yeah.
Make the playoffs. They make the playoffs, dude. It's going to be huge.
Yeah, if they make, we've got everything working in our favor, with Jacksonville's boy getting hurt. And we got a big game, I think tomorrow, Sunday. We got that at the Bengals. They got a backup quarterback that looked really good.
Yeah,
so,
he did.
Yeah, they just got to keep rolling. So we'll see what happens. Again, I hate to say it, but, this puts us in a position we're going to end up with 22 overall pick. What good does that do? So we'll see what happens. Although, the only good thing about this is Marvin Harrison Jr. said yesterday he might return to Ohio State so that he can beat, quote unquote, the team up north. So we might suck it up next year and be able to pick him up in 2 years from now with a good draft pick. I don't know. Just thinking outside the box.
Mm-hmm. I like the way you think.
Yeah, I like that. I didn't know that about Marvin Harrison because being a Bear fan, I was kind of hoping because I think they're going to trade Justin Fields. I think they'll trade him. Justin Fields wants to play in Atlanta. They can have him. And then I don't know if the Bears, they could trade that number 1 pick and then get Marvin Harrison Jr. Gosh, he's going to be good in the pros, man. He's going to be really good.
Yeah, I guess they got 2 people that could go their top 10 out of Ohio State that supposedly there's enough NIL money there with the boosters. They may rework it to make it a little bit more intriguing for sure. And it sounds like he wants to beat them. And let's be honest, I don't know if he needs money. Like Daddy's pretty good, right?
Well, he's making a lot of money at Ohio State.
Yeah, well. So, yeah, I'd be interested to see what happens. I mean, not that I think we had a chance to get him anyways. I do think he'll go top 5, and I don't think we're going to suck that bad. But, yeah, the Colts being on the positive side, hey, if you would have put $100,000 on them in Vegas, you would have already won. You would have already won $165,000, I think.
Wow.
They were only projected the over-under was 6.5, so they're already there.
Florida State's out of the playoffs. In case anybody.
Yeah, don't even get me started on that. That's just
a good
wrong.
one, Dave.
Poking the bear. Poking the bear.
One.
I knew what I was doing.
You didn't poke the bear. You shot the bear.
Poke that bear.
Oh my!
Those poor kids did everything they were supposed to do, and then you tell them no.
Right.
And then Georgia loses by 3, and then you put Alabama in there. Oh my gosh. I'm done. I don't think I'm going to watch any games. If I was Florida State,
that's what I said.
I would show up, go through the motions, and when they start announcing you don't come out, you leave, you go to your own party and watch them sit back and watch ESPN scramble about how you didn't take the field. They lose all kinds of money because no one watches.
Right.
So there's a group of
That's
people.
what I say.
There's a group of people, David, in a room that make these decisions, right?
Right.
Like if you've got to make this decision, I'm thinking that somebody in the room has to stand up and say, you know what? I can't make this decision unless we have them play for the 4th spot. That would have been fair to have them play for the 4th spot.
Yeah.
And then if they win, they're in. If they lose, they're out, right? That would have been to me to just say, hey, let's take a step back. We can't make a decision because Florida State has won national championships. This isn't Boise State at 12-0. This is Florida State who's put hundreds of people in the pros, right? Mm-hmm. So this isn't some rinky-dink. It's all about money. It's money.
It's a beauty contest, and they're not in on the beauty this year.
Yeah.
So,
But
Yeah.
it just shows you.
Yeah.
And then they put Alabama versus Michigan because they want to prove a point that they did exactly what they're supposed to do because everyone thinks Michigan's the best team.
Michigan's
so if Alabama
gonna,
beats Michigan,
and they will.
when they get beat, they're going to go, look, we told you guys Alabama's better than all these people.
Yeah.
No, that's not the
Yeah.
point. Alabama didn't deserve it over an undefeated team. Texas
Right.
shouldn't have got in my opinion.
Well,
I think it should have been Georgia and Florida State, not Alabama and Texas.
you and
They
I
had to put Texas in if you're going to put Alabama in.
that maybe be the buy-in game, right? The play-in game. So, but yeah, you're right because I think Georgia got screwed. I mean,
they dominated all year
long, and you lose a 3-point game in that team that's ranked. What was Alabama at the time? They were ranked lower, 6th or something, right?
7th or 8th.
7th, yeah. And then
7th
all
or
of a sudden they count.
Yeah.
And hey, we didn't notice that Texas was 7th, and then all of a sudden you leaped them into the 4 spot, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Texas was just a number 7 team like 2 weeks ago.
Right.
So it's all about money because the biggest money makers in college football, and people forget this, most revenue produced through the games is Ohio State's number 1. But Alabama's in there, Texas is in there, Michigan's in there. It's all the schools that make that big money, and it's
But
just
Florida
loaded.
State hasn't been there since the 90s. They have not been there since the 90s.
Right.
Since Bobby Bowen or whatever.
Bobby Bowden.
Bobby Bowden.
Bowden, there you go. Since he has kind of left, that program's kind of been tarnished a little bit, up and down a little bit. They kind of flirted for a few years when
they won one in
Charlie
2013.
Someone else.
They won one in 2013.
So they, like I said, they flirted right in there. And then that coach, I think, went to Texas, didn't he?
Yeah.
Or Texas A&M. But
Jimbo
the
Fisher.
thing is, Florida State has the money.
Yeah.
Florida State has
Bad.
money. They would have spent the money. They would have made money on Florida State just as much as Alabama. No doubt in my mind, because these guys ain't been in a long time.
Yeah,
Yep.
I know. It's just sad.
If
dude.
Florida State was in the SEC, they would have made it.
Right.
Just saying.
I
mean,
agree.
Maybe now the Big Ten goes after Florida State.
Because Florida State turned down 2 invitations to the SEC.
Right.
in the
Yeah, they
90s.
did.
Bobby Bowden
Yeah,
said, nah.
right. They did, and then the other thing is that they've got no legal angle because the Florida State signed that agreement with the NCAA and how they'll pick their teams. So for the championship, or for the playoff.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess next year makes it easier because it'll be more teams.
Right.
And I don't think
It
people.
don't matter. They screwed up.
Oh, they did, dude.
Absolutely
It's
flat out
bad.
screwed up.
It's bad.
And
So
Florida State should stick it to them.
I know. So here's something I looked up, and it's a true stat. I was actually surprised at this. Of like when NCAA does their tournament, the number 1 seed, how many times you think they've won the national championship, percentage-wise?
Less than 20.
It's more than that.
It is
It was shocking.
I was going to say 20. I was going to say 27 to 37.
okay.
Dude, it's like 40-some percent.
Oh,
It shocked me. But still, it tells you that 60% of times they don't win.
mm-hmm.
So they got Michigan ranked number 1 right now. 60% odds if they were playing basketball, which they're not. But if you're going to parallel those statistics, which become somewhat similar, I think they're not going to win. So, I just thought that stat was interesting because the teams they typically pick through the coaches and writers do not win.
right.
And that screws us. And that's why, I guess that's why we're all arguing that it needs to be a better playoff system than what it is.
But those
They're all undefeated. It don't matter.
Yeah.
You're undefeated, you get in. It's real simple.
Mm-hmm.
like the D2 and D3 and NAIA schools, they got it right. They have their playoff. They have a
Right.
whatever,
Yeah.
but the D1 schools.
Because they want to play those non-conference bullshit games. And Notre Dame's going to have to, it's going to get more serious in that conference side. It's going to get more difficult for Notre Dame. They're going to have to go to the SEC.
As
or
long
Big
as
Ten.
NBC's paying them $25 million a year, they're making more money than the Big 12 network itself. So,
But Tim, though,
the money talks.
but think about this though, Tim. If this thing gets more conference oriented, right? Like it looks like it is, and they're going to take away these bullshit non-conference games. If you're Notre Dame, how in the hell are you going to schedule Michigan, Ohio State, USC? How are you going to schedule these games when these people are now locked into a tighter conference and they're not going to want to run the risk of playing an independent school? You know what I mean? Because part of Florida State's argument is that conference they're in was 3-2 against the SEC. So that decision that those guys made was horrible. they want to say Florida State's not as good as the SEC, but when they all matched up and played each other, their teams won more than the SEC did. They were 3-2. So
kind of to your point, now Notre Dame's got to play 5 teams from the ACC. That's part of their contract with the ACC for the rest of their sports. Right. Then you got Army Navy game they have to play because that's that's just how it's been since World War II.
Yeah.
So that's 6 games you've got of your call it 11, right? So you've only got to work in 5 other games somehow. And a lot of those, it's going to be money driven. It's going to be Notre Dame gets signed by Michigan to play them because the Big Ten network may be able to host that game. So they want to play Notre Dame because Notre Dame's like Dallas Cowboys, right? It's just a worldwide following that the money talks, unfortunately for everyone else, is just now. To your point, will it change? I don't know.
If I'm Michigan athletic director, I don't want to play them.
You don't. Hey, don't. But Michigan's going to play people outside their conference one way or the other. So why not go get the money?
I know, but I think they may take that away down the road, like those games, those outside conference games.
So with this ruling and Florida State not playing, is the NCAA trying to send the message to the ACC of like you don't matter? You're probably
yeah, they sent it to message to all the other conferences. You don't matter.
Are they trying to like dismantle the ACC right now?
Like, if you look at those top teams playing right now, if you were to advance to next year, all of them are from the Big Ten or SEC. So you got a total complete domination of the Big Ten and SEC. Yeah, because Texas would be in the SEC,
right?
Oregon and Washington would be in the Big Ten. So your top. At one point, the top 6 teams in the country will either next year would either have been from the Big Ten or SEC. So that's why I think
USC was the same thing.
Yeah. Yep.
Just thinking.
Yeah. No. I mean,
boys, I gotta get off here. I gotta get a tree unloaded.
All right, brother. You unload that tree.
Hey, good to talk to you.
Thanks for allowing me to chit chat with y'all. Good to catch up.
Yep. I'll text you about next Saturday. We're gonna do Great Divide. So
next Saturday. All right, then holler at me.
All right, brother.
Right, take care.
Later, Tim. That was Timmy D. That was Timmy D.
Just to me, they're trying to. Maybe I'm wrong. Just kind of tell the ACC.
I think that's what they're saying. Yeah, I mean Clemson has a historical history, right?
Yeah.
So it's like. So what's happening is the NCAA is saying if you're not going to align like the Big Ten and SEC, then you're not going to have a lot of power in the room when we go to decide these things, right? That's essentially what they said.
Right.
And if you look at Florida State, the other shocking thing about it was they didn't have the most powerful schedule, but when you look at their schedule power ranking, it was 3rd in the nation.
Oh wow.
So I don't know if I said that right.
Yeah.
I may not have said that right, but they had one of the third of the teams they played. It was like the third hardest, whatever. So it's not like they didn't set their schedule. I mean, there's a lot of factors that go into that, but I'm glad you brought that up because it's not like Boise State, right? Where everybody in the country is like, they probably couldn't beat them. But this is Florida State, man. This is
James Madison.
Yeah, they're James Madison, right? I mean, this is a team that is. This is a team that's helped change the face of college football, right?
Right.
I mean, dominations. So, but anyways. Thanks for bringing that up.
Oh, yeah. Well, thanks, everybody, for listening to the Ship's Gonna Happen podcast, the Reckless Club. We did a little bit of transportation.
Sports.
Yeah, sports and music. So
music.
Thank everybody for listening. We got one more show left this year, which will be next Saturday. And we appreciate everybody listening, following us. Smash that like button, click subscribe. Have a great weekend.
Ship's Gonna Happen is out. Oops, the wrong button.